So you're in the Nation, and then kind of slowly but surely in the background, you start becoming the Godfather. How does that happen?
I'm in the Nation. At this point, The Rock is kind of going on his own. Mark Henry and D'Lo are a tag team, and they weren't doing nothing with me. I was just standing at the ringside, you know? And so my wife came up with the whole idea. And my wife, she says, if we can let these people see that you're not this voodoo guy, you're not this militant, you're actually a kind of cool dude. She says, once you put your personality out there with these people, they're gonna love you. And she goes, I think the best way is to make you a pimp and this and that. She goes, and I'm like, what? And she's like, and I don't know if you guys remember Starsky and Hutch, but there was a pimp in there called Huggy Bear. And she goes, I want to dress you up like that in wild purple. I'm like, what? And I'm going to put a feather in this. And I'm like, what? I fought her on everything. And guess what? Everything she told me worked out. And I just started, my hair grows really fast. I'm having an operation. I'm having my knee replaced on the 20th. And so my son told me I can't grow hair anymore. So I'm going to take 3 months off and I'm going to grow an afro just to prove to him that I can.
How many people can say that their wife suggested they become a pimp?
God bless her. God bless her.
So she's got the idea, but how do you pitch that to Vince McMahon? Like how do you kind of weave it into the story?
The WWE, besides putting me on TV, had nothing to do with, not with the development of the character. One day, me and Bradshaw are wrestling each other. We are beating the hell out of each other for 10 minutes. We're on the popcorn match. For you guys that don't know what that is, that's the match after intermission, where people are coming back from drinks. They put one of the matches people don't care about there. So we're beating the hell out of each other for 10 minutes, and we're getting no reaction. Just like you guys are sitting here, they're not nothing. So I said, Johnny, let's try something. So Jack Lanza was the agent, God rest his soul. I said, Jack, let me try something. And so he's like, all right, give it a try. So I go out there. I got to stand up to do it. I go out there and I get in the ring and I just grab the mic. Now I've got long hair. I got braids. I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to say it. I'm a pimp. Now see how you guys just reacted a little bit? Okay, imagine 18,000 people kind of reacted. Now, me and John have been beating ourselves to death and no reaction. I said, but what you don't know is right here in Manchester, man, they got some of the best hoes ever born. And I said, how do I know that? There's one of my old hoes, and then I'd find someone that was maybe old and overweight. I'm like, she's a little big now, but hey, you know, pimping ain't easy. She was one of my hoes too. And so Bradshaw would come out, and I had no girls. I wasn't dressed like this. Oh, yes, I was. Yes, I was. I did have a hat on. And so Bradshaw would come out, and I would say, listen, man, I'm going to beat your ass. You know it's my turn to win tonight. I'm going to beat your ass anyway. I said, why don't you do this? In the back, right now, in a limo, I got 3 of the nastiest hoes you ever see in your life. I was like, all you have to do, I said, I'm going to kick your ass anyway, is just be the smart one and go out there, and, you know. And so the crowd starts going, take the hose. Take the hose. And I'm like, they're telling you what to do, man. And so Johnny would take the hose. The place would go crazy. Now we're getting reaction out of these people for doing nothing. We have no wrestling yet. I've got the whole place is chanting. So then I would heel on the people. That's another, you dumb rednecks. I'd start healing on them. Another dummy there, and now Johnny would turn around, right? Start walking back, and I'd have my back to him. And then they'd buzz me. I would turn around, and Bradshaw would hit me with that lariat as hard as he could. 1, 2, 3. I would get up and put my hat back on and say, man, pimping ain't easy. And that's how it started. And so we did that a couple nights. And then we went to TV, and Vince says, Charles, I hear what you're doing might have some legs to it. He goes, can you get me some girls? And we're going to, well, can you get some girls for the show? And I said, are you me get some girls? Okay. So me, Undertaker, and the Harris boys, the Harris twins, Ron and Don, we went to the strip club that we were at the night before, and we got some girls, and we put them on TV, and we did the little show that we were doing, and it got over to where I'd walk through the airport, and maybe somebody would be like, hey, that guy's a wrestler, that's Kama, he's been Nation. It went to, Godfather! Hey, there's Godfather! It was crazy how over it got on one show. And then we did it again the next TV, and then they took it over. They started, because I was getting the girls. Me and Undertaker have been to every strip club in this world, over the years. And so they took that over, and we started adding more shine, and it really got over. And it's really just me being me. Even take the pimp out of it, it's just me being me.
This is a question I never thought I'd ask someone in my life, but what was the selection process for the hose like? My mom would be so proud. After it's taken out of your hands, like who's selecting them? Like how is it working every week?
How it would work is I would show up and there'd be like 5 or 6 girls there. That somebody, because Bruce Pritchard is the one that started getting the girls from the strip clubs. And then depending on how much time I had, because it took so long to get the girls in the ring, do my speech, get the girls out of the ring, well, you're already 5 minutes in. And you only got an 8-minute match, And so I would go in there, and depending on how much time, if I had 8 minutes, I could get 3 girls. If I had 10, I could get 4 girls. Because it took that much extra time. And I would just pick them. I would say, okay, I'm going to use you, you, and you. Sorry, I can only use 4 girls, but they all got paid. And that's how it worked. But I had the final decision on which ones were on the stage with me.
Was there ever a time where one of the hoes was a bit too much of a diva and wanted more screen time than they were going to get?
That wouldn't work. I'd have just embarrassed her on TV.
So, but would you kind of suss that out backstage? You'd
no. They were just, they were happy. If you've never been in front of 16, 18,000 people that are cheering for you, it's the thrill of a lifetime. And they're just smiling the whole time because I'm like, this is the only time that being a hoe is not going to be a bad thing. And the people just loved it, man. And they loved it, and it just worked really well.
And we would have had hoes tonight, by the way, but there's a cost of living crisis. We can only afford so much. I did want to ask you, there's a clip that I saw the other week, I hadn't seen it before, and it's from Sunday Night Heat in 1999, and you're in the ring with Undertaker, and he's in the ministry type, and it's like you're trying to break him. Talk to me about that segment.
First of all, anybody else would have did what I did would have been fired. They would have been fired. And so anytime I wrestled Undertaker as Papa Shango, Kama Mustafa, Godfather, Goodfather. I always try to get him to break character. It's almost impossible to get him to break character. So for you guys that haven't seen it, I went to have a match against him. I'm like, you know what? I know you like hoes. And then if you watch the clip, you'll see Paul Bearer go, oh yeah, oh yeah. And I was like, dude, I've known you a long time. I'm not gonna lie about it. But I know you like hoes. And I just kept messing with him over. He's sitting there going, knock it off. But yeah, anybody else would have got fired for that.
My favorite bit, do you remember the last line that you said to try and get him to break?
No.
You said, I know you're the dead man, but not every part's dead.
That's right. Anybody else would have been fired.
But he didn't break. So
I used to do a lot of stuff to him to try to get him to break, especially in casket matches,
So was there a moment that you knew the Godfather was really over in terms of this was going to be like a long-term thing? Or was it just straight away?
I knew the first time me and Bradshaw did it, to get the reaction from the crowd like that, you can't miss. I knew it was going to be over, and then when I got the TV and Vince said that, I'm like, thank you.